Welcome to another Multifamily Minute. I'm Doug Tabor with Apartment Realty Group, and today I'm going to talk about how to finance a duplex, triplex, or fourplex property. If you go to the 2-4 units sandiego.com website, you'll see that we recently published an article on how you can get financing for one of these smaller apartment buildings. You can take standard residential financing like you get at your local bank for your home, and you can apply that up to 4 units. The difference typically between 2 to 4 unit properties and commercial residential apartment buildings is after you get over 5 units, you're now required to use commercial financing if you were going to use some financing. So many people have an opportunity to invest in multifamily real estate as long as they stay within the 2 to 4 unit guidelines. They can use their standard residential financing. Now there's some key benefits to using that financing. The first and most important is that it's fixed for 30 years. You can take advantage of 30-year fixed financing where you're not going to have to worry about a loan adjusting. You're not going to have to worry about interest rates changing. You'll have a nice 30-year fixed mortgage, and at the end of that 30 years, if you stick with it, you'll be able to pay that off. Obviously, that'll make it a valuable asset in the future. Secondly, all of the standards that come along with residential financing, no prepayment penalty, and things that apply that protect you as the consumer, those also apply to these types of buildings. So the different types that you're able to use, we're going to talk about 3 of them today. We're going to talk about your standard conventional financing, we're going to talk about your FHA financing, and then also your VA loans. Now with your conventional financing, if you're looking to really just buy a duplex or a triplex or even a fourplex building as an investment property, this is where you can use conventional residential financing to buy it as an investment and not actually live in it. Now typically you're probably going to be required to put at least a minimum of 10 to 20% down for a conventional loan, but again, you're going to be able to buy this as an investment property and not have to actually take residence in one of the units. The next type of financing is your standard FHA finance. You can utilize an FHA loan to buy up to 4 units. Using this type of financing, though, you are going to have to live as a resident in one of those units because you cannot use residential FHA financing to buy an investment property. Now, you can still use the 3% down, and there are even additional guidelines that allow you to take the loan amounts even higher than your standard FHA loans. What you need to do is you need to check in with the HUD.gov website and find out what the FHA loan limits are for those multifamily properties in each county. It's always different throughout the United States. And then finally, your VA loans. We just completed some VA transactions for some veterans that were buying some triplexes here in San Diego. It worked out really well. They were able to use their full guarantee to utilize 100% financing with a VA loan at a very competitive rate to purchase a triplex. Again, they need to live in one of the units because you cannot utilize these government loans as strictly an investment type of loan. Those are the 3 types of loans that you can utilize: conventional, VA, and FHA loans to buy up to 4 units in residential financing. Now, one of the things you need to be concerned about, however, is that as depending on when you buy, depending on where you are at within that real estate cycle, if you're buying on the high side of the market, doing a no down or a low down payment, you got to be very, very careful that you don't ultimately get in over your head and you're not able to allow the building to cash flow. And we're going to talk about cash flow and cash flow analysis in our next video. But until then, again, buying a duplex, triplex, or fourplex property with the right criteria, using the right partners, can be a very, very wise investment indeed. I'm Doug Tabor, Apartment Realty Group, and if you have any questions about purchasing rental properties in San Diego, call me at 858-609-9559, and you can also visit my website at 2-4, that's 2-4 units sandiego.com.